Honourable members, shall we pray? Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favour upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic, endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labours of government this land and people may be well and truly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Raise the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, let's turn to item 5. Item 5, correction of votes and proceedings. We start from page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page number 7. Page 8. Very well. Page 7. Honorable Professor Nyako.
The Speaker, on page 7, the second column at the apex, number 29, Nkrumah Kojo Opong. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, he was in the house. I saw him. And to be sure my eyes were not deceiving me, I called him this morning and he confirmed he was here. I'm sure another department mistakenly marked him as some. So I plead that his name is deleted from those absent and same sent to those who were present. Thank you.
So, table, kindly check the register, and if indeed he was here, of course I saw him, you acknowledge that correction. Yes, my brother from Afajatu South.
Speaker, thank you so much. Speaker, let me seek your guidance. And I recall a couple of days ago, the learned professor brought this same issue to the fore on the floor of the House. It has to do with page 7, item 5, recognition of schools / visitors. My understanding of this is that apart from your good self, respected members of Parliament and staff of Parliament, any other group of individuals who come here are acknowledged as visitors. And so I do not know why we should keep creating two categories for schools and visitors. Because students, chiefs, market women, everyone who gain access here with your due permission, does so as a visitor. But I rely entirely in your judgment anyway, Speaker. Thank you.
So your position is to know the distinction that has been created for different visitors.
Absolutely so, Speaker. Every visitor is a visitor. Thank you.
Yes, Professor Nyako.
Speaker, this issue has been recurring. At times, the heading is recognition of schools when only schools are captured. At times, there are some visitors as well. So that's why we have schools and visitors. But in this particular case, the Honorable Second Deputy Speaker thanked the visitors for coming to observe proceedings of the day. They are all visitors. So that one is okay, it is not wrong. But what he is trying to seek clarity on is that because all are visitors, because at times schools wouldn't be here and there will be only visitors. At times there's a mixture of students and also visitors. So you try to bring that distinction. The other day, I remember when I brought this matter up, the Speaker said that the heading is schools to visitors, and I conceded. And I always look at where Mr. Speaker will thank them. If it is only schools, then the thanks will go to the schools. But if it's a mixture, visitors. But they are all visitors. They are visitors. But when it's only schools, you can decide to restrict it to the pupils and staff. If it's a mixture, then you can make them visitors, and you are good to go.
Well, I think this should not be an issue to spread our hairs on. They are all visitors anyway, whether they are students, whether they are foreign dignitaries, whatever it is. In the House, as he rightly said, apart from members of parliament and staffs and ministers of states who are coming to do business here, every other person who enters here is a stranger. Is indeed a stranger. So if he comes here officially to witness what goes on, then he's a visitor. So let's not split our hairs in this. I think we can put all of them together as visitors. So we turn to page 8. Honorable member, are you up on your feet? Page 9. Page 10. Page number 11. Yes, Honorable Professor Nyako.
The Speaker, on page 11, item 1, opening. The second line, the committee, let us begin from the first sentence. The committee embarked on a monitoring visit on Wednesday, 21st May 2025 at 9:30 a.m. to the Ministry for Gender. So it should be the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Then the orphanages listed, the residential homes. You have Save Them Young Orphanage, Great Mission International Orphanage, and New Life Nungwa Orphanage. I'm just suggesting if we could get the location of these orphanages so that they are specific enough. So Save Them Young Orphanage, where are they? Great Mission International Orphanage, where are they? New Life Nungwa Orphanage. You might think that it is at Nungwa, but it might be at a different place. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. So, table, can they take note of the grammar? That's Ministry of. Let's take note of that. So we turn to page 12. And finally, page 13. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of Thursday, the 19th of June, 2025, is hereby adopted as a true record of proceedings. Honorable members, we have the leader of the House here. So we return to item 6, which will deal with business statement for the ensuing 5th week. Respectfully, leader of the House.
Right Honorable Speaker, your committee met yesterday, Thursday, 19 June 2025, and arranged business of the House for the 5th week, ending Friday, 27 June 2025. The committee accordingly submits its report. Right Honorable Speaker, you may make formal communications to the House, as you always do. 58 questions will be asked of various ministers, including the Minister for the Interior, the Ministers of Labor, Jobs, Employment, Education, Gender, Children and Social Protection, Environment, Science and Technology, Finance, Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, Health, Energy and Green Transitions, and Youth Development and Empowerment. 19 of those questions are urgent, and 39 are oral questions. Statements may be made by ministers of state on government policy, and honorable members may also make statements pursuant to Order 93. Bills, papers, and reports according to Orders 159 and 160 and 97 may all be laid. Bills, papers, and reports. So, Speaker, motions and their consequential resolutions may be taken. So, Speaker, in accordance with Order 2162 and subject to Order 67, the committee submits to the House the order in which business for the House will be taken during the ensuing week for the adoption of the House. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leader of the House. Honorable members, the statement for the ensuing 5th week has been read to us. If there's any issue or any comment a member may want to discuss, this is the time. And I can notice Honorable Member for Fear.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Let me commend first and foremost the leader of government business for sharing with this honorable House the business statement for next week. Mr. Speaker, I can see and I need to appreciate the minister's inclusion of some of the urgent questions that have been posed, particularly the one regarding the removal of 1 Ghana cedi from the suspension of government 1 Ghana cedi per litre, which we want the Minister of Finance to come and explain measures to deal with it. However, I think the leader as well would help us a lot with this persistent paper presentation, which have not been dealt with. Consistently in our order paper, we have reports of leadership on the composition of membership of ECOWAS Parliament and Pan-African Parliament. It's been recurring week after week in our order paper, and we've still not had that issue dealt with. I believe it is high time leadership take particular notice of it and get this particular matter resolved. I think that will be my initial submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me turn to Professor Kingsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful for your indulgence. Because I've seen a lot of questions admitted to be answered by the ministers and those who the questions refer to. I would like to read Order 88.6 and seek your guidance and how we can ensure that we get our minister. Minister is not able to attend upon the house to respond to questions. Somebody must be available. Not that when the question is called, we are told that the minister is not there. Else, we will have questions upon questions compiled. And Mr. Speaker, at times you have told business for the day sitting. If you don't get ministers to respond to the questions, then you come to the house, we go beyond the 5 hours. I think you can even do 10 hours. So I'm just asking that somebody must be ready to answer the questions when the minister is not there. My second issue has to do with debates in the House or comments on statements. Mr. Speaker, if you go to Order 115, Rule 1, subject to the discretion of the Speaker, and Order 1693B, a member who intends to speak shall rise in the member's place and address the chair, while standing only after catching the eye of the Speaker. But in recent times, this rule is overlooked. And when it is time for us to debate on any motion or comment on statements, leaders will identify who to speak. And I don't see that in our orders. The orders is clear. You must stand in your place and catch the Speaker's eye. The Speaker, you can use your discretion and say that I'm allowing maybe 2 or 3, but the member must stand and the member must catch your eye. I don't think that it is within the powers of the leaders to determine who should speak and who not to speak. So I'm just bringing this to leaders' attention so that members wouldn't feel that there is some form of selectivity. Let members be confident and rise. It is the duty of the Speaker to ignore or recognize that person. So these are the issues I want to bring to the attention of my respected leader. Thank you.
Well, I think the 2 issues you've raised, the leader will speak to it. But I think the first one you raised, that explains why yesterday I allowed the deputy chair of the commission to speak. And for me, if we had brought the deputy chair to speak, then like Order 88 is clearly stated, probably we will be shooting ourselves in the foot. If a minister is not here, deputy cannot come and answer questions. And if I got what we are saying, it's like because some of the ministers are so busy and cannot always be here, we should allow the deputy ministers, or by what we are even saying, if the deputy minister is not even here, the minister can designate somebody else to come and answer questions so that we don't have questions piled. Fine, I may not go with any other, but the deputy ministers, we should be able to allow them to come and respond to questions if the substantive ministers are not here. And the other one you raise, like I said, leader will address them. But the other one you raise, comment and those kind of things. At times, we will also be working on time. So the standard is saying that we should use, let's say, 1 hour for statements. At times, we could use 3 hours. So we need to manage the time. So that is why at times we restrict members in terms of time, or even as plead with the member to let's move on. But I think leadership will have to look at it. Because I share with you that the leadership will have to probably appoint someone or select someone to speak. It could be that that person is not even ready to speak at that moment. So I hope leader will take time to address some of this issue. Yes, Member for Clay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to commend the leader for the business statement, and also follow suit my senior colleague, Professor, on the standing orders. Mr. Speaker, on the 5th of June, I raised an issue regarding laying of papers, and which was bordering on when papers has to be distributed. Mr. Speaker and senior members indicated that after the papers are laid, then it ought to be distributed. Mr. Speaker also indicated that because we are in a technological transition, most of these papers are not printed, but they are sent to our pigeonholes. Mr. Speaker, as I speak, papers were laid on that very day.
Which very day?
Mr. Speaker, that was on the budget. Just a moment, if I may refer. Sorry. Mr. Speaker, there was a paper on, I think, just a moment, I had it. I'll make reference as I go along. But on that day, there was a paper that was laid, and I raised the issue that members did not have copy. And Mr. Speaker and senior members indicated that copies of papers are given to members after the paper is laid and after it's been referred to committee. I did indicate that it is important for members to have individual copies of papers that are laid here, because the reference of papers to committee does not stop members from having their individual understanding of what the committee works, so that once the committee lays their papers, it could be members can make meaningful input. Mr. Speaker, from 5th June to date, every single day I check my mails, and the papers have not been forwarded to us. Other papers have been laid afterwards, and we don't have individual copies of these papers. Mr. Speaker, I just want to bring that to your fore, that once the Article 110 provides for our enactment of rules under our standing orders, it is important that the GUNOM of this nation ought to be obeyed. And it is not for any reason why the framers of the Constitution indicate that members of Parliament must make rules to govern our operations here. And when we make these rules, we have to obey them. It is important for us to have copious knowledge of all documentations that come to this house, so that when committee presents their report, we can make informed input. Mr. Speaker, having said that, my second issue is also on the fact that as we move along with this technology, it's important that our standing orders reflect the new activities that we have here. Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, Standing Order 48, 2, indicates that before the commencement of a sitting, the clerk shall send to each member a copy of the votes and proceedings of the previous sitting.
Honourable member, hold on. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
Thank you. Honourable Speaker, I think honourable members are supposed to confine themselves to the business statement, and I thought that's what the members should be doing. I I think he's waving completely outside the business statement.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Kre, I was going to tell you that, so take cue, and we just want to address ourselves to issues we are going to confront next week. So just look at it from that angle.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I am laying a foundation. The business, I am also I'm laying a foundation in order to make my submission of some issues that borders on the standing orders that ought to be considered as matters that has to be brought before the House. And so I understand my senior colleague, but if you would have allowed me to finish because I started from last 5th June issues that I raised, and then I indicated that these activities have, and I've come back to the standing order 48 and indicated that my submission is that there are some provisions within the standing orders that the business committee must consider and take advantage of Order 108 to amend. And that is where I am going to. And that is why I sought to read Order 48 too, which indicates that before the commencement of a sitting, the clerk shall send to each member a copy of the votes and proceedings of the previous sitting. I further move to 48.6. And 48.6 says that the votes and proceedings shall be in print. And it's the journal of the House. Emphasis on shall be in print. Mr. Speaker, my checks from the Director of Publishing indicate that mostly they only print about 80 copies or distribute 80 copies of votes and proceedings. And if we are moving into technology, because most of the votes and proceedings are sent into a portal, I am of the view that we should consider taking into consideration Order 108 so that we can seek to amend the Standing Order 48.6 to be able to acknowledge the transmission of votes and proceedings through the technological advance. Else, the Standing Order indicates that it shall, and it shall. I am not a lawyer, but I believe that the leader of the House is a lawyer. And once you say shall be in print, it means that each person, 48.2 says that each member shall have a copy. And 48.6 indicates that it shall be in print. But most of us do not get printed copies.
Thank you.
Order.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the last issue, which I indicated, is that the Minister for Finance, was here, Mr. Speaker, on 3rd June, and assured this House that as at the moment that he was speaking, he had transferred some amount of money to the Common Fund Administrator. Mr. Speaker, we as members of Parliament must encourage efficiencies of institutions. For 3 weeks, these monies have been sitting in the Common Fund Administration and has not been sent to the district assemblies. And these are issues.
Hold on. Let me.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I would advise my colleague to check his account or let his DCE check.
Honorable members, please, let's stop this.
My colleague is not current. You don't know what is happening. The money has been transferred to the assemblies. So, I'm providing information. He is not current. The issue has been dealt with.
Honorable members.
He's also not commenting on business.
Yes.
He's also not commenting.
Honorable members, why wouldn't you allow him? Then afterwards, someone will speak.
But even I'm a point of order. You can't come on a point of order against me.
Honorable
know
leader.
The rules.
Honorable leader, you are a leader.
Know the rules.
Once he finishes, I'll give you the opportunity.
I am on a point of order. You can't come on a point of order against me. Learn the rules.
Honorable Indam, please resume your seat. Let me finish.
Mr. Speaker,
once you finish, I'll
the
give you
issue has been dealt with. So there's no need for my colleague to repeat it or raise it here. The monies have been paid.
Well.
Thank you very much.
Yes, minority deputy whip.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, the second deputy majority whip, is completely out of place in his response. We have the chairman of the business committee, who is the majority leader, who presented the business statement. If concerns from members are raised, it is the majority leader who has to respond, not the deputy whip. So what he is doing is completely out of order and shouldn't be encouraged. Rather than that, members will now be responding to members in terms of concern being raised. But he's not the one to respond. So he's completely out of order.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, indeed is right. The leader of the House is capable of responding to any other issue. So, honorable member, just conclude for me.
Mr. Speaker, with your judge, please, if you give me just 2 more minutes because of the interjection. Mr. Speaker, I want to place on record. Mr. Speaker, I'm a former district chief executive. And Mr. Speaker, the development of this nation, as rightly put by the majority and the finance minister, hinges on local governance and decentralization. And Mr. Speaker, as at this afternoon, 1 p.m., the monies has not hit the account of the municipal district assemblies. It has not. And that is a fact. Mr. Speaker, in concluding, Mr. Speaker, the minister made, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I plead with my members on the other side that I have made this point, and please, this is about the development of this country. And if we are making such issues, it's important for us. In concluding,
honorable member, you raised the issue.
Yes.
We have corrected you that this is a business statement. What we intend doing next week. I mean, if you have an issue, you can come by way of statement. You can come by way of some urgent issue. Then you raise all these issues, but you don't just chicken on commenting on business statement and just try to bombard the House with so many things. So please, this is a business statement. Let's deal with the business statement, which will actually concerns what we are going to happen next week. So, leader, do you want to respond to all the concerns already raised, or I should take more of them?
I agree with the honorable member about the composition of the report on the composition. You moved, okay. The report on the composition of the membership of ECOWAS and Pan-African Parliament. We are working very hard there's some disagreement, fundamental, between the two sides. We could use our numbers to railroad our way, but we want to build consensus and agree on it. So that is what is holding it. So you can as well talk to your leader. The composition of the ECOWAS and Pan-African Parliaments, there's a question about that. That's what I mean. And about the standing orders and the rule regarding you standing in your place, well, that's what it says, but also ultimately the discretion is that of the speaker. You may not be standing in your place, but if the speaker decides that you have caught his eye, he can give you the opportunity to speak. And as for the practice of leaders agreeing on who to speak, whilst it's common practice, I think that maybe the manner in which the speakers enforce it is what you may be complaining about. Maybe those people should always be on their feet, and then the speaker is guided by the list and pretends that it's a fair and democratic process, but then know that the indication from that side is that it has to be Mr. A or Mr. B. So it's the finesse with which we implement our understandings. As for the question being answered by ministers and deputy ministers, it's been a long-standing practice of this House that we seek leave and deputy ministers answer the questions. It's never been denied, except that it is always attended with a lot of drama and excitement, but ultimately leave is granted. But beyond ministers and deputy ministers, no other public or civil servant within any ministry will be allowed to answer questions at plenary. But if it is at committee, technocrats and civil servants may be permitted to respond to questions asked in relation to their sector. And then also, you notice that even for the independent constitutional bodies, it is not plenary, it is committee of the whole. So we downgrade it so that they can also participate. So at the level of plenary, it has to be ministers and deputy ministers, because by our constitution, ministers and deputy ministers are actually members of parliament, except that they are non-voting members of parliament who are not on committees, but they are members of parliament, can participate, can debate, except that they cannot vote on matters. And on the issue of notice of proceedings, and then also the agenda and order paper, I don't know exactly which provisions you were really focusing on, because order 47, 48.6, the votes and proceedings shall be in print and is a journal of the House. The votes and proceedings have always been in print. Well, I haven't noticed, because I see copies on my desk, so I didn't know that they don't print enough copies. But that's a matter that we should look into. If they don't print enough copies, then we need to make sure they print enough copies for members. I think also maybe there's some wisdom in amending some of our orders to recognize the effort to digitize the work that takes place in this chamber. So perhaps it will be an interesting project if you could profess some amendment to the standing orders to take care of that. I will encourage you to do that. And that will be your legacy in the House. As for the question of monies to assemblies, I'm sure that the monies have been sent. I saw the authorization 2 weeks ago. I think that there's something going on. One is, first, the confirmation of all the DCEs and MCEs. Second is the development and approval of the guidelines by cabinet, because you don't want the money to get there before the guidelines get there. And then lastly, they've all been summoned to Accra, and I think today they are finishing their orientation program as DCEs. So you want to bring them and orient them and guide them before you release the monies to them. But after the money has been available and ready a very long time, that I can assure you, and I can actually give you records of the transmission of the funds to Controller Accountant General and etc. So that is, I believe after their orientation today, they will now be empowered to go back and work based on the guidelines and the orientation that they have been given. And let me assure you that I specifically spoke with His Excellency the President and asked him to chip in his speech, a directive to the MMDCEs to work closely with their members of parliament and to reduce the friction between them and their members of parliament. And the President promised to do that, and I think he did that in his speech. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, are you okay? Let me take the last set of comments. Yes, Honourable Dr. Kabilu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me also commend the leader of the House for the brilliant statement. But two things, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I filed a question which has been suspended indefinitely to the minister responsible for trade and industries. She was supposed to appear the week before the last one and last week. Both the question was deferred because of her inability to come. I'm looking at the questions program for the ensuing week, and we still not find in the business statement questions program for the Minister for Trade. And Mr. Speaker, it's becoming too much of no-show. It's becoming too much of no-show for the Minister to keep on not coming to this House to answer the question. So, Mr. Speaker, I will want to urge the Leader of the House to try and prevail on the Minister to take the questions of members of Parliament seriously, because it's been more than 1 month. She keeps on postponing the questions. The Minister responsible for trade. And even this week, the ensuing week, we don't have there's no expression of any question for her for the ensuing week. So we have to take it seriously, Mr. Speaker.
But what I know is
was
that
a normal question, but it was
he has written
Mr. Speaker,
to...
the question was even filed in the last meeting. She couldn't come, and this meeting, she has postponed it about 3 times. And I think it is not good for the House. Mr. Speaker, the last one has to do with composition of committees. I wanted to join in with the issue raised by my colleague. Aside the committees expressed in the other papers that we have seen, there are also standing and then select committees that have not been fully composed. I remember my colleague here, the MP from Myang, he is supposed to be in the communication, Mr. Speaker, your committee, Information and Communication Committee. But each time he wants to appear, they say they have to ratify it by Parliament. So he has not attended any of our meetings because of this particular issue, and we are working. So all other outstanding committees, Mr. Speaker, we must ensure that we make the membership complete so that we can do our work. So I'm also, again, appealing to the leader to prioritize it so that in the ensuing week, we'll finish all standing and select committees so that members could get to work. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to start from where Honorable Dr. Kabiru ended, and to also appeal to the majority leader. On our side, after the amendments to the committee, we have our records ready, and that was sent to the selection committee. So members are supposed to be in various committees, but for the fact that the majority side hadn't sent their own amendment to the selection committee, so it is still a problem. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the chairman of the business committee when we should be expecting the mid-year budget. It's so important and critical because your finance minister is not spending, and sometimes he says he's waiting for mid-year budget. When the nurses strike, you said they were not budgeted for. So the nurses are also of the view that maybe mid-year budget, if it comes early, whatever their concerns were, may be incorporated into the mid-year budget. So it is critical. The Minister for Education is here. Ask him whether they have released money to him up to 6 months into his ministry. And also, so probably majority of them. That is why you see many of the ministers and the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in the chamber, because they don't have releases. They can't sit in their ministry. That is why they are always in the chamber. If they sit in the ministry, there is nothing that they can do because there's no releases. No releases. That is why you are here. Go to your ministry. You are always here. The majority leader will always boast that I have my ministers in the chamber because there are no releases at the ministry. They cannot be there to work. That's why they are always here. They are hiding in parliament. You have additional responsibility. You cannot use parliament as a hiding place. You have additional responsibility. As ministers, go to your ministry and work. And also on the ministers, I want to find out from the chairman of the business committee, President Mahama.
Honorable, I think enough with that.
No, I'm moving to another question. Okay. Majority Leader President Mahama promised all of us, Ghanaians, that when he'll be appointing 60 ministers. He hasn't appointed 60 ministers. He has 56 ministers. And it is 6 months along the line since he promised Ghanaians. So when is the president bringing the remaining 4? I know that 10 people from the side have already been promised about the 4. You can see Asim North. You can see the former president, Brother Mills, and they are all there, the founder's daughter. None of them have been considered out of the 4, but 10 have been promised the minister. The founder, the founder of their party, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, former president,
Honorable Habib.
an MP has not been
Honorable Habib, enough.
When are we expecting the 4 additional ministers, majority leader, and the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu will always say that we should follow due process, and where the Constitution provides for something for us to follow, we should. Article 268 on the mining lease agreement. Dama, you're supposed to bring the agreement to Parliament before you extend that. You have always promised that you will bring it. Majority Chief Whip raised it. And you have not been able to bring the agreement on the Dama for ratification. When will he bring it?
Honorable Habib, like I said to Member for Clare, if you have issue of urgent nature, you can come by way of urgent statement. Or urgent,
Mr. Speaker, I want to find out, I want to appeal to the chairman of the committee to program the minister responsible for lands and natural resources to brief us on Galamsey, because Galamsey is everywhere. And now he's saying that it is chiefs and DCs who are going to fight the Galamsey. And I want to find out whether actually that is the policy in fighting Galamsey. So he should be programmed. And also, if he can program the minister responsible for foreign affairs. There is Israel-Iran war. Ghanaians are in both countries. We don't know what actually is going on. When the Chairman, Mr. Speaker, he has to program the minister responsible for foreign affairs to appear before the House. When he was ranking member and there was issue between Ukraine and then Russia, he was in Ukraine taking pictures with students. When is he going to Iran? And when is the foreign affairs minister going to Israel? That we want to know. That we want
Thank
to
you.
Mr.
Thank
Speaker,
you.
let me conclude by telling the majority leader that a lot of things, our colleagues, their offices, their air conditions are not working. A lot of things, some of them, the lifts and other things. So I want to appeal to you to see if you can talk to the authorities to address this issue. And also appeal to the finance minister that he should do the releases. He should give the ministers money to work. The economy is dry. There is no money. People are suffering. There's no money anywhere because he's not releasing money. And there are people, that's why they don't sit in the chamber. Before you go to any minister's office, he doesn't have a release. How can he even help his colleagues? That's why they are not coming into the chamber. So the minister must release the money and let work go on, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hey. Yes, Honorable Asahini.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the powers of Parliament cannot be chipped by the executive. It is only through Parliament that we see accountability. And it is only Parliament that has that constitutional mandate to oversight the executive. Mr. Speaker, last week we heard Mr. President talk about the Iranian-Israeli war and said in express terms that the war definitely will have impact on our economy. However curious I found that statement to be, I leave Mr. President by his own words and posterity. However, Mr. Speaker, for my purpose, Mr. President said he has assigned the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Energy and Green Transition to study the economic impacts of the situation in Iran and Israel. Mr. Speaker, and report. Mr. Speaker, the appropriate forum for such action is Parliament. The Minister of Finance and his colleague Energy Minister should come to Parliament and tell us whether or not the Israeli-Iranian war is at all having any impact on our economy. Because, Mr. Speaker, only yesterday we were told that the Ukrainian-Russian war has no impact at all on our economy. That was what we were told only yesterday. So, Mr. Speaker, we want the majority leader to program these two ministers to appear before Parliament and update Parliament of these happenings on our economy. Mr. Speaker, what we want to achieve is that this update will guide us in how we communicate with our constituents. Mr. Speaker, this is a very short meeting. This meeting is a short meeting, and we are going to have a long break. You go to your constituency, they ask you about 1 job, 3 shifts. Why is it not coming? How would you answer? You go to your constituency, they ask you about the 24-hour economy. How would you answer? You go to your constituency, they ask you, why has the 1D, 1F been cancelled? How would you answer? Mr. Speaker, for me, giving us an update would help us make an informed decision. So we don't want Mr. President to just talk, but we want him to involve Parliament so that we'll be able to reach out to our people. Mr. Speaker, on that score, I want Honorable Minister to take this matter on board and come back with an appropriate response to the effect that these two ministers are going to be programmed. After all, Mr. Speaker, this week, some of them came in with some policy statement. Don't they consider this matter as an urgent matter to brief the House on? My second point, Mr. Speaker, we were in this House when the majority, relying on their numbers, one evening introduced an addendum order paper. There was no discussion on this matter at conclave, but sometimes when the majority leader is using his powers, you can't stop him. So he used his powers to introduce this addendum order paper. And at 10:30 p.m., when many Ghanaians were asleep, they introduced their energy recovery levy, otherwise known as Dumso levy. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians were disappointed. We, the minority here, expressed our dissent and our disagreement, and eventually rejected that bill, which imposes 4 cedi 50 pesos per gallon of petrol. Mr. Speaker, later when they saw the backlash, they claimed that they are suspending. Mr. Speaker, the right thing to do is to repeal the law. We cannot trust the executive discretion. Because, Mr. Speaker, the way they introduce it at night, they can reintroduce it at night. If they want Ghanaians to take them serious, we are the people's representatives. Come here and eat a humble pie. Come and eat a humble pie. This is democracy. You can't win it every day. Just come, Mr. Speaker, just come and repeal the law. So, Mr. Speaker, I would want to encourage the majority leader to, Mr. Speaker, don't be intimidated. The majority leader has forgotten. It was once upon a time the midfielder for the opposition. Mr. Speaker, you should look in my direction. I want an eyeball to eyeball contact with him. Mr. Speaker, he's intimidating you.
No, nobody is intimidating anybody. Nobody
Mr.
can
Speaker,
intimidate me.
let me direct it.
As nobody can intimidate you, nobody can also
Very
intimidate
well,
me.
Mr. Speaker,
The
he's
point
created
is,
that impression.
no. You see,
You were playing midfield for the then minority. You are talking about Mr. Speaker. Don't mind him.
Honorable
Don't mind
minority
him.
leader. Honorable minority leader. There's so many ways you can come to the house
Mr. Speaker,
to address this
Mr.
issue.
Speaker, don't get into this
So,
one.
no,
Mr. Speaker,
I am managing the house now. I'm saying there are so many ways you can come to the house to address this issue. You can come by way of urgent statement. I mean, nobody can stop you. But when you just sneak it into business statement, obviously, I can't sit aloof. I will obviously guide you to at least manage it. But if you want to come and come properly, have a way of coming. And I'm here, I will allow you to speak. So please, this is a business statement.
Mr. Speaker, very well. Mr. Speaker, we take guidance from the chair, and it doesn't matter whether the chair is a Jew or a Christian or a Gentile. What is important is that the chair has advised. So, Mr. Speaker, I take a cue. Mr. Speaker, the mainstay of all I'm saying on this second issue is the minister, the majority leader, should program the finance minister to appear before us next week to repeal this law under the same certificate of urgency. It's very important, Mr. Speaker. It would help Ghanaians understand that indeed what the minority said, that it was wrong to introduce a Dumso levy, you have at least listened for the first time. Mr. Speaker, these are the 2 points for now. I want him to respond so that, Mr. Speaker, I come back and deal with some other important issues.
Thank you, leader. Just come and respond to them and let's move to something else.
Mr. Speaker, I've taken on board the request that we should try and complete the work of the composition of committees. So where there were errors and those committees remain incomplete, I think that basically the two whips are the ones who are supposed to help us complete this exercise. So I'll follow up with the whips and make sure that they have done their work. The trade minister has been out of the jurisdiction for a while. That's why her questions keep being rescheduled. So I believe that she has officially written to us indicating that immediately she returns, she will come and answer her questions. On the number of ministers, I think it is obvious that the problem Ghana has had is with having too many ministers. It got to a point where we had about 118 ministers, and the public has been very unhappy with the political class, that is both political parties, NDC and MPP, in the past for appointing too many ministers. And the NDC made an effort to reduce the numbers by promising that we will not appoint more than 60 ministers. And we've done so well that we haven't even hit the 60 mark. And so I think that instead of the minority pushing us to appoint more ministers, they will be commending us for having managed the numbers to a point where it appears we may not need 60. It appears we may not need 60. The president appears to be doing well even with 56. So if that is the case, I think that we should be commended highly. And so it shouldn't be an issue that the president hasn't appointed 60. But it's good that you keep highlighting it, because the more you highlight it on this floor, the more Ghanaians are reminded that the president promised 60, but has done so well not to even appoint 60, but has appointed only 56. So I'm happy. So I'm happy if every week, every Friday, you raise it. So I'll encourage you, every Friday, raise it, so that I'll remind Ghanaians that the president promised 60, but didn't even get there. he managed to stop at 56. I believe Ghanaians will even want the number reduced. But, he promised 60 and he's kept it at 56. The Iran-Israeli war, yes. I think the other day the Foreign Affairs Minister actually wanted to make a statement on the Iran-Israeli war and all the issues that it raises pertaining to Ghana's interests. But because he had made a statement that day and then was answering questions, I advised that he should come on another day to make that statement. So I will draw the attention of the Minister for Foreign Affairs to come back and make the statement. Now, on releases, I should say that the releases are being made, and that is not an issue. The presence of ministers in the chamber, if you recall, we used to sit from 10 a.m. in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon. And during that period, we had difficulties getting the ministers to come and answer questions. So a decision was taken to shift our sitting to start at 2 o'clock. And the president issued directives through the secretary to the president to the ministers that now that Parliament starts sitting at 2 o'clock, no minister has an excuse for not being in Parliament. So a directive was issued to the ministers by the president that they should try and also be present. At least go to your office at 8 a.m. in the morning, work till 2, show up at Parliament. If the parliamentarians need you, they will see you there. They don't have to queue your office in order to see you. So the ministers come here so that you will have an opportunity to engage them on your constituency matters. That's the whole idea. This is a government serving its people. This is a government serving its people, making the ministers available to you as representatives of the people. So you don't have to follow them in their offices to have access. You can have access to them in the chamber. So any of you can always walk to the other side, engage a minister on a matter concerning your constituency, and that saves you having to go to your constituency. So you should be praising the ministers and thanking this government for making sure that the ministers are always in the chamber for you to have access to them. I think you should be thanking them. You should be praising us. They are here. They are on this side. 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 When the deputy whip was making his statements, you saw so many ministers. You saw so many ministers. And you were complaining about so many ministers being in the chamber and always being in the chamber instead of sitting in their ministries. All of a sudden, it is only one. Mr. Speaker, on the issues that the minority leader has raised, I am sure that the Minister for Finance will make himself available when it is appropriate to respond to any issues that we may put in a question for him to respond to. If he feels that matter of government policy needs to be communicated to this House, he would come. As for the levy that was passed, if you recall, the argument that was used to back the levy was that the levy will be enforced to the extent that the levy will not lead to an increase in the ex-pump price of petroleum products. That was the condition under which this side of the House accepted the levy. If implementing the levy will lead to an increase in the price of petroleum products, we will not allow that. By that time, petroleum prices were coming down, and government thought to harvest the benefits, some of the benefits, in order to deal with the energy sector financing challenges. So when global circumstances change the environment of the pricing of petroleum products, and the implementation of the levy will lead to an increase in the price. That goes against the arguments that informed the passage of the levy. And since this is a site that keeps its promise, the promise not to do anything that will increase the price of petroleum products, and implementing the levy will cause an increase in the price of petroleum products. So on the basis of that, we have halted it. And when the circumstances change, when circumstances change, and there is the possibility of benefiting or harvesting the benefits for Ghanaians to solve the energy sector, we can go back to it. So this is a government that keeps its promises, and we promise not to increase prices, and we will do whatever it takes to keep prices as low as possible. Mr. Speaker, if there's anything that needs to be done, maybe just tinker with the transitional provisions of the Act. I think we have answered all the questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the business statement as read to us has been thoroughly discussed. It is hereby adopted. Honorable members, before we move to the next item, let me invite you to look at the public gallery. We have our children who are at the basic school and the secondary school and even at the universities. They are here to also monitor what goes on in the chamber. So we have 3 schools here. The first school is Infansipim Senior High School. Infansipim Senior High School. They are being led by Gloria Kwanzaa, who is a teacher, and the school is located at the Cape Coast South constituency. Cape Coast South constituency. I hope the deputy leader is the deputy leader's constituency. Yes. So you are welcome. The second school is Legacy Girls College. Legacy Girls College. And they are here with a leader, Pewa Alo. Pewa Alo. I don't know whether I pronounce it well, who is a teacher. And the school is located in the Lower Manya-Krobo constituency. Lower Manya-Krobo constituency. So they are also 59 in number. And the last school is Quorum Methodist Model JHS. Quorum Methodist Model JHS. They are also here being led by Mr. Stephen Nyako, who is the head teacher of the school. And the school is located at Gumwa Central Constituency. Gumwa Central Constituency. I hope we have the constituency, the MP here. Yes. The MP is here.
One year busy. Relax. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for welcoming my people from Quorum Methodist JHS. These kids here are some very brilliant kids, and so I promised them that they are going to enjoy free university education. Free first year university education.
So the guests at the public gallery, you are all students, notwithstanding whichever level you are. I hope you are taking close look at whatever is going on here. We want you to be edged on that. Go and study hard so that tomorrow you can come and take over from us if we are no more here. You are most welcome, and I wish you well. Yes, leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I pray the House that will vary the order of business to take item 10, BI, and II.
Very well. Yes. An application is given to us to vary the order.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have any difficulty in varying the order of business to lay that. But I want to find out from you, Deputy Whip. You said 10BI, II, and III. Or?
Mr. Speaker, we are taking 10BI and II. The III, last 2 weeks, I told the House that the minister has given indication to withdraw the amendment bill. So we are not dealing with it today.
So we should BI. Let me see. Let me notice it well. That's the committee by the committee chairman. And II also by the committee chairman. But III is not among. Very well. Honourable members, let's turn to page 3. Page 3, item listed 10, BI, by the chairman of the Finance Committee.
Mr. Speaker, the chairman is not around. As the vice chair, I want to lay the reports on behalf of the committee.
You are the vice chair?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So you are the vice chair and at the same time deputy whip.
Very well, Mr. Speaker.
Let's hear you. I didn't see you bowing. I didn't see you bowing.
Report of the Finance Committee on the annual report on the collection and utilization of the African Union Import Levy for the 2024 fiscal year.
Take the other one as well.
Report of the Finance Committee on the indicative debt restructuring terms between the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, and the participating creditor countries of the official creditor committees, Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, India, Israel, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, Norway, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America.
Honourable members, the reports of 10 BIII have been duly presented. The reports are ordered to be distributed to honourable members. Yes, leadership. Are we turning to item 7?
Mr. Speaker, I have another application. So we'll take item C, the report of the appointed committee.
The C.
Mr. Speaker, I don't understand the application of the deputy whip to take the report. You haven't laid a report. How do you take the report? So if you are going, so make the application, and you should be very. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the majority chief whip, whether you are wearing smoke, I'm a Dagomba man, so smoke can definitely not frighten me. So he should make the right application and let us move on.
Mr. Speaker, like I said earlier, I paid the House that we will lay the report of the appointed committee. That's item C.
Very well. The application is granted. So you now have to lay it. Bow. Yes. Table.
Mr. Speaker, I just got instruction from the ranking member of the committee that they have not even cited the report that they want to lay. I'm not a member of the appointment committee, but I just received a call from the minority leader, who is the ranking member on the appointment committee, that they have not even cited the report. So I was actually, because I'm not a member and I haven't participated in the vetting of the judges, I think, but at the moment, if the ranking member haven't cited the report, I don't think it is right to lay it. So the majority front bench, our respected majority leader, a Harvard scholar, he knows what to do. You just reach out to your colleague, let him see the report, and we can lay it. We are here today. It's a very nice Friday. That's why I'm wearing white, and your chief whip is wearing white. So we'll definitely do it.
Yes. Honorable Nelson Roxon Atta.
Mr. Speaker, I believe the record will bear me that I've just arrived. We've been busy the whole day. We are done. In fact, this report ought to have been laid yesterday. Yesterday. The laying is not the same as taking it. So our procedure mandates us to lay. The report is done. It should be laid. The final draft is being sent to the ranking member. And Mr. Speaker, we know that today we ought to have sat in the morning, but because of some exigencies, the sitting was pushed to 2 p.m. And we all know why we encourage members that we should be here early so we can close early, so members can travel. It's already past 3 p.m. So we are pleading that we should lay the report, and then whatever it is, we can reconcile our differences and take it a short while later. So, Mr. Speaker, let's lay the report. So are you opposed to the request that the report be laid? On what grounds?
Mr. Speaker, the majority chief whip is a very experienced lawyer and a senior member of this House. He knows that for a report to be laid, we should have sufficient copies. And like I rightly told him,
we shall have what?
Mr. Speaker, the ranking member, Mr. Speaker, the ranking member of the committee and other members of the committee who were part of the vetting, my able colleague here, Jerry, they haven't even seen the report. So for that one, let's see the report, and then they can lay the report. But at the moment, the report is not there. Nobody has cited the report, and it's not good procedurial to lay a report when it is not.
Yes, Jerry.
Speaker, thank you very much. Speaker, I'm quite surprised that we are going through this process without due deference to our side. I mean, we just came out from the committee's hearing, and we haven't cited a report. And I do not think that it's fair for anybody to proceed to lay the report when our side have not cited. We haven't even come to any decision on the report for us to proceed. Speaker, I respectfully think that my colleagues should bear with us. At least, I don't know if there is any rush, because we even think, I don't even know if this report is a composition of all the members, all the nominees.
Because that was the agreement that let's look at all the nominees and file and lay the report to that extent. But if it's a report that we haven't seen it.
Leader, the report will be taken today, but let's yield to them. Let's the minority leader take a look at the report. Then we lay it and we will take it. We will take it today, no matter what. So I mean, let's yield to them. To be fair, I mean, working on a document and he hasn't seen it. So let's yield to them. Let's give them some few minutes to take a look at it. And so, Honorable Dafemopo, please, I mean, link up with the clerk and let's at least make sure the leadership have copies of the. Yes. So, can we take the urgent questions now?
Mr. Speaker, so we will take 7A, the question by Osahin Alexander Kwamina Afeomakin. Mr. Speaker, he is not here, but as usual, I think I will offer to ask the question on behalf of. Mr. Speaker, I will offer to ask the question on his behalf.
You wanted to do that.
Mr. Speaker, I think the majority leader, he's too in a hurry to come on this side. Don't worry, in 4 years' time you'll be here. So don't worry, don't be in a hurry. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, we can do the agent question, but the minority leader, he just rushed to, attend to something. So you can start with the B and C, and by then he will just come. We can do the B and C, and then he will come and take his own.
Anyway, so let's turn to B. The question stands in the name of Dr. Isaac Yaopoku, Offenso South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Order 883. I have the authority to read the question on behalf.
Okay, you are granted the leave, so go ahead and.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of Dr. Isaac Yapoku of Offensive South, Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the measures the Ministry is taking to combat armed illegal miners who besiege our forest reserves. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I provided in my brief to Parliament some months ago on the status of our forest and water bodies, out of the 288 forest reserves, 44 are under siege from illegal miners, and 5,000 hectares have been degraded. As I reported at the time, 9 of the forest reserves were classified as red zones, where armed thugs have been deployed by illegal miners to fight forest guards from entry to do their legitimate official work. The Speaker, I'm glad to report that so far 8 of these red zone forest reserves have been recovered from these armed thugs, leaving one reserve, the Desert Forest Reserve, which is still being worked on. The Ministry and the Forest Commission were able to recover this reserve through a collaborative effort with the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police. Efforts are still ongoing to take over the last reserve. Mr. Speaker, again, through the effective collaboration with the Ministry of Defense, we are developing a system where the Forestry Commission will have the military to provide backup support, especially in hotspots areas or in situations where the rapid response teams of the Forestry Commission are unable to enforce these laws. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is also working closely with the Forestry Commission and other agencies to source support to procure key logistics to improve mobility of officers to enhance surveillance and monitoring for early detection of forest offenses. Honorable Speaker, I have engaged the Attorney General to also explore possibility of setting up specialized courts to deal swiftly on the issues of illegal mining. The Speaker, as part of efforts to garner support for this fight, the Ministry, in collaboration with key stakeholders, has intensified sensitization of various communities on the effects of illegal mining on the environment, human health, and the need to carry out responsible mining. And to honorable members, the fight is a collective fight, and I call on all members to join the fight in their respective constituencies where illegal mining activities are predominant. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have any supplementary question, only to thank the Honorable Minister for so far how he has managed the situation. Thank you.
Very well. Minister, he's commending you.
Thank you very much for the commendation. We'll keep up the fight.
Yes, let him go to Honorable Mati Indam.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I heard the minister. According to him, they've been able to save some forest reserves from these illegal miners. My question to the minister is that, will he be kind enough to provide this House with the names of these reserves? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm able to inform this House that the following forest reserves, which were red zones, have been reclaimed. Jemira and Jemira Extension, Afao Hills Forest Reserve, Tano Anhwea Forest Reserve, Ofin Shelter Belt Forest Reserve, Ahweasu East Forest Reserve, Ahweasu South Forest Reserve, Subri Forest Reserve, and Asinayo Forest Reserve. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Indam.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. May I find out from the minister the remaining reserves that are yet to be saved? What is the challenge as at now? Or what is putting, or what is the blockage that is not allowing you to save the other ones that are left?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think that it's a security issue. We are talking about a reserve that has been taken over by 10,000 people in different areas, and it has to be done carefully, bearing in mind to protect human life. And so I think a lot of work is being done. But we are doing that mindful to protect human life and at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Honorable members, we turn to question C. Question C, and it stands in the name of Honorable Frederick Addy, member for Swaman. Yes, Honorable Frederick, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources what immediate measures the ministry is taking to curb galamsey activities in the Swaman constituency, particularly in the light of the recent incidents at Kalo, where 2 individuals lost their lives in a galamsey pit on Friday, 14th of March, 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Illegal mining is a persistent challenge which has been put. Oh, no, I think. Sorry. Illegal mining is a persistent challenge which has polluted our water bodies, degraded our arable lands, and decimated our forest reserves. Mr. Speaker, in the recent incident in the Swaman constituency, 2 people inadvertently fell in a Galamsey pit and lost their lives. These recent happenings have sparked public outrage, and immediate measures are being put in place to curb this menace. Mr. Speaker, the immediate measures include reclamation and revegetation program. The government is engaging in the reclamation of illegally mined out areas in the constituency and other affected areas to avoid such occurrences. Community engagement and education. The ministry has intensified community engagement and awareness creation on the effects of illegal mining. We have engaged the district assemblies and traditional authorities to come together and help in this fight. Law enforcement. Punishment for perpetrators of this heinous crime will be strictly enforced as is being done, and to ensure deterrence to other miners who engage in this activity. We are also strengthening licensing and regulation. Mr. Speaker, we are also focusing on geologically investigated areas with very good prospects to ensure that miners will get mine out areas that are very lucrative for them to mine, so that we can prevent this random digging and this risk we face. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member for Swama. Any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Looking at the answers he gave, he said I want to ask the minister, ever since the incident happened, has he dispatched some team members to the site to check on the incidents? If not, may I know why?
He wants you to take the question
Mr.
again.
Speaker, I want to ask the minister, ever since the incidents happened, have you dispatched some team members or officials to the site? If not, may I know why?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Minerals Commission at the regional level has been coordinating with the district, and those engagements have taken place. We've received reports and other follow-ups. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'll give you one more. Oh, you're okay?
Yes. Mr. Minister, I want to find out from you that for my constituency, this Galamsey activities, after the Galamseyers has been driven away from the site, they leave the pitch uncovered. Has your ministry made any provision to cover up those pitch? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes. The ministry, through the Minerals Commission, is able to regulate legal miners, small-scale miners that have legal licenses. But that's why we call these activities illegal. These are illegal activities, and those faceless people who do it are unknown. And so we continue to work with the district assemblies and authorities to apprehend them and make sure they are punished, make sure that we can get them to recover these areas. And we will continue to do so. I thank you.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, thank you. This question came as a matter of urgency because the way and manner people are dying in the area is too much. So, Mr. Minister, can you give us a timeline for us to know when these people will be attended to? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Honourable Speaker, as I stated, we are engaged in a very aggressive program. First, to reclaim all these degraded land, to minimize those risks. We are also working on a program for cooperative mining to identify mineralized areas and organize mining in a very sustainable and responsible manner. We believe that those steps will help address the concerns that has been raised. I thank you.
Very well. Let's now turn to the question that deals with Osahin. Yes, Honorable Martin Indam.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I want to find out from the minister. Have you caused some investigation into the deaths of these two individuals who unfortunately died as stated on the order paper? Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I think that this is when people engage in illegality and it results in the death of human beings, that becomes a matter of police investigation. And the right institutions are on top of this. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Kabilu. What?
Mr. Speaker, I will want to find out from the
Yes, Honorable Kabilu.
Mr. Speaker, the minister and then the president assured the good people of Ghana that the issue at hand can be dealt forthwith within the matter of weeks. I want to find out why it has taken us half a year and the minister has not gotten firm hold of the issue or has not got firm grip of the issue on Galamsey and the associated loss of lives. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As the President recently stated, we are under no illusion that illegal mining activities that is widespread in more than 5 regions, that is engaging by almost 3 million people, will come to an end in 4 months. But we are very proud of the steps we have taken and the progress we are making. We are very proud to have reclaimed 8 out of 9 red zones that were not tackled for over 3 years. We are very proud of the active collaboration we are having with the community leaders, and we'll continue to make the progress and make sure mining is done responsibly and sustainable in Ghana.
Yes, Kabiru, let me give you last.
Mr. Speaker, is that an admission from the minister that the government, though there are some progress being made, has failed the good people of Ghana has failed the good people of Ghana in respect of their own promise and the fight against the illegal mining menace in Ghana? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, I think my statement was very clear. This government and the people of Ghana can testify that the load that we were sunk in, this government the last 4 months is really making progress and will continue to make progress to ensure that we can do mining responsibly and sustainably in Ghana.
Honorable members, we will continue the question, but indulge me 5 minutes suspension. Honorable members, let me thank you for your indulgence. So you turn to the first question.
Mr. Speaker, I have a preliminary matter for you to determine. Mr. Speaker, our rules do not allow for strangers to come into the chamber. You suspended the House for 5 minutes. And our colleagues allowed their national chairman to enter the chamber to take pictures and as part of his campaign, courting the support of NDC MPs. The national chairman of the NDC, who has declared his intention to succeed President Mahama, has entered the chamber. Mr. Speaker, 60 NDC MPs have taken pictures with him, declaring they are 80. Mr. Speaker, I'm told 20 more join to make it 80. Mr. Speaker, I want the chairman to know that the 80 is not enough. He should get more to make him the preferred candidate. But Mr. Speaker, just to conclude, I want to know whether the rules allow flag bearer hopefuls to enter the chamber. Mr. Speaker, if it is allowed, then in MPP we have quite a number. We would let them also come here and take pictures. Mr. Speaker, rule on this matter for me.
But Majority Leader, do you have something to say?
The only person who was a witness to this matter was Honorable Kwame Eche Roxon Nelson, the Fiamapo. He is the only one who saw it. As for Majority Leader, he was nowhere near. I don't want you to call him as a witness.
No, but the point is, it's not a question of who saw those who took the pictures, but you are raising issue as to whether it is allowed. So that's why I'm inviting his.
Mr. Speaker, the chairman of the National Democratic Congress was in this house for, I think, 5 terms. 5 terms. 5 terms. 5 terms. Each term was 4 years. So, by my basic mathematics, 3 or 4. 3 terms. He did 3 terms. He did 3 terms.
About.
Mr. Speaker.
About.
No, Mr. Speaker. It's okay. Mr. Speaker. I think that I think later on we'll take steps to verify whether it was 4 or 3. We'll take steps to verify.
But again, he has been
in this house,
a board, parliamentary service board,
and he
member.
was the chairman of the board of the parliamentary service at the time when you also served as a member of that board, an ex-official member of that board.
He was the HR committee board.
And he was the
chair.
HR committee who employed and interviewed the promotion of many of your clerks. By virtue of that, he is entitled once in a while to pass by and see if everything is okay in the chamber.
Including facilities.
Whether the facilities that he facilitated the procurement of are working well for us. Mr. Speaker, and of course, being the charismatic leader that he is, being the charismatic chairman that he is, all the MPs are excited to see him. Mr. Speaker, I was not in the chamber. I was in the clerk at table's lobby. And you know there's a television there that captures what is happening in the chamber. I saw MPP members of parliament struggling to take photographs with him. I saw it with my naked eyes. With my naked eyes. I saw it. Mr. Speaker, I saw it. I saw it. And Mr. Speaker, before he entered the chamber, the leader himself rushed to receive him. I was there. When the leader received him, hugged him, and welcomed him to the chamber. I was there, Mr. Speaker. I was there. But you see, this is a leader who wants to take the benefit and leave his backbenchers. So when his backbenchers sees the opportunity to also have photographs with the national chairman of the NDC, he's aggrieved. But Mr. Speaker, I think that the chairman is here. Normally we invite him. He sits in the chamber to witness proceedings. On ceremonial occasions, we invite him. He's allowed to enter the chamber. The chairman of the NPP is also allowed. They come, they sit. Even the general secretary and national executives of the NPP also come, and they're allowed to come into the chamber. So I don't think that there's a problem with that.
Well. And
Mr. Speaker, we have a lot of work to do.
Well.
So can we continue?
Yeah, we can continue. Habib.
Mr. Speaker, listening to the majority leader, is very clear to me that he wants to be the running mate to Asedun Ketia. Because, Mr. Speaker, it turned into a campaign when about 80 MPs declared their support to the national chairman. Mr. Speaker, when they were declaring, I took a video, I have a video on my phone. When they were declaring for the national chairman. Now the majority leader wants to be the running mate to Asedun Ketia. And now it's just 6 months into their government. So it is when the chief of staff, Honorable Julius Deborah, is meeting MMDCs. MPs are declaring for Asedun Ketia. So Asedun Ketia for Bako, MPs, and Julius for DCs. And that is what is going on in the NDC. So, Mr. Speaker, we can continue with what the majority leader says.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, is enough. The national chairman of NDC has been a member of the House, he's been a member of the board, and he's always a special guest. So once he comes, I think there's no issue. And the picture he took it at the time the House has been suspended. So honourable members, let's move on. Let me invite the Honourable Kofi.
Mr. Speaker,
just take your.
Does that mean that you've ruled on this matter? Mr. Speaker,
yes, my ruling is that.
When you say the House is suspended,
yes.
The mace, Mr. Speaker, the symbol of authority of Parliament is a mace. That is why even when you suspend, we must bow to the mace. Mr. Speaker, the national chairman entered the chamber of Parliament to campaign. If it's your ruling. Mr. Speaker, the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress entered the chamber of Parliament when the mace was very upright. Mr. Speaker, I want you to rule on this matter.
Rule.
Mr. Speaker, what is your ruling?
My ruling is
your ruling.
My ruling is that.
Mr. Speaker, the House had not been adjourned. Mr. Speaker, don't be led into temptation.
So why have you invited me to?
Mr. Speaker, you rule. You rule.
So, honourable members, like I said, Chairman Asedun Ketia was once a member of the House. He has been a board member that I served with him, and he's always a special guest. So once he comes and he's not sitting at the gallery, he's sitting at the special guest. You have the public gallery and you have speakers special guest area. So once he's sitting at the speaker's special guest area, I don't think there's any issue. And it's not only restricted to him, like the majority leader said. When MPP leadership also come, they will also be welcome. So I don't think there's any issue at all. So the ruling is that there's no any issue. Yes, Honorable Amakofibua, please take care. We have so many things to do today, please. So, Honorable Osahin, you have to ask your question now, please.
Speaker, with respect, I rise to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the steps the ministry is taking to ensure that Future Global Resources Limited and Blue Gold Holdings Limited gain unhindered access to their legally acquired concession at Bogoso Prisia Mine, Bogoso Prisia Gold Mine.
Yeah, respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Future Gold Global Resource Limited and Blue Gold Holdings Limited are no longer the holders of the Bogoso Prisia mining leases effective 18 September 2024. So, Speaker, the then Minister, Honorable Samuel Jinapo, terminated the mining leases granted the companies acting on the advice and recommendation of the Minerals Commission and the immediate past Attorney General, Godfrey Yebu Adami, pursuant to Article 88 of the Constitutions and Sections 5168 and 100 of the Minerals and Mining Act and Regulation 201 of the Minerals and Mining Licensing Regulations. The Speaker, the above decision was based on breaches of the terms of the company's mining leases pursuant to the Section 68 of Act 703, as I've stated, and Section 27 of the terminated mining lease agreements executed between the Republic and the companies. The Speaker, it is therefore clear that at the time of taking over as Minister, Future Global Resources Limited and Blue Gold Holdings Limited had no longer concessions at the Bogoso Prisia mine. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, you have.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, any supplementary question?
Rightly so. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. And our rules caution us to proceed with caution. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister in his answer is very categorical that the former minister, and he mentions him by name, Honorable Abu Jinapo, terminated this agreement against the advice of the Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, questions are asked for answers so that there will be clarity. If the minister is saying that there was some advice on record, I want to know, he should be very clear whether there was any such advice documented from the AG's office. But Mr. Speaker, I will not pursue that, but I will ask him whether he is aware that with water levels rising to 19, it will be near impossible to resuscitate the mine if the watering is not commissioned immediately, considering the situation we find ourselves.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, the question was on the status of Blue Gold and whether or not they had a mining lease. If the honorable member wants to talk about the current situation of the mine of Bogoso, I think he can come with a substantive question.
Very well. So, honorable member, you got him.
Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I don't want to litigate this afternoon with my respected colleague because I have some indication from the majority leader on some other important things that government wants to do, which will require our cooperation. But Mr. Speaker, if the Honorable Minister will pay attention to my question again. And by the way, I do a lot of preparation before I come. So don't just make the point that I have asked whether or not there is a lease. My question is to ask you steps being taken to ensure that Future Gold Resources Limited and Blue Gold gain unhindered access. Unhindered access. So I've premised my question on the fact that they don't have access and it's affecting their investment. So if I now come and ask you the question, whether you are aware that with the water level rising to 19, it will be near impossible to resuscitate the mine if the watering is not commissioned immediately. I am anchoring it on the very answer you gave in respect of the access. If the company does not have access, what it means is that they are unable to do their work. And I'm drawing your attention. One of the issues, Mr. Speaker, that they raised in their letter to the President, which the Attorney General responded, has to do with the investment which is going bad. And this affects the image of the country. They've written twice to the President. And so if I'm asking you, by way of supplementary, to address this House as to whether there would be no problem should they not get access now. How do you then tell me that I should come under substantive question? Mr. Speaker, I don't understand.
Honorable,
I don't understand.
Honorable member, I wouldn't have stopped him from responding.
Don't worry.
But
Let's make progress.
You see, we always say that we bring ministers here to respond to specific questions. And we always say that this house is a house of records. So we bring a minister here, you ask him a question, and subsequently you ask him a question which may not be a question that he has prepared. He may give answers, and it will turn out not to be. So please, let's give them the opportunity. If we still want him to respond to that, you can come by way of another question.
If it is your ruling that it amounts to a substantive question, I will yield to you. Because that is your ruling. Let's make progress.
And it's for all of us, because we don't want the ministers to come in.
Mr. Speaker, we can make progress. Mr. Speaker, is the minister aware that as a result of the company not having access to its legally acquired mine, the illegal miners are ravaging the underground operators on daily basis because underground workers do not have access? Have you become aware of that?
Minister, are you listening to him?
He won't pay attention. He is rather discussing, you see?
Minister, yes.
Mr. Speaker, in my earlier answer to the Honorable Minority Leader's question, which was that the company, Blue Golds, and Future Global Resources, their legal status, whether they still own mine, and that they should be allowed legal access to the concession. My answer was that their concession was terminated by the previous government. And the previous government gave the mine to a new company. They have no legal access to the mine. That is the answer. Now, if you want to ask questions about the status of the mine and the status of the performance of a new company that is performing, ask another question. I'll come prepared and answer that.
Mr. Speaker, it's quite rich, very rich, that the minister standing at the dispatch box is telling the whole nation that this company does not have access because the contract has been terminated. By the way, is the minister aware? The concession, yes. Is the minister aware that the company has written to the president complaining about inability to have access, of which the Attorney General's opinion is being sought? Is he aware?
Yes, Minister. Is it the president or the minister aware? Minister, are you aware?
Madam Speaker, I can only speak about communications that I'm copied. I have not been copied on any such letters.
Very well.
Honorable Minister, since you are now talking about official communications that you are copying, may I know from you whether this company has approached you, your office, as part of their effort at gaining access to their mine?
Leader, I think he's capable of answering. Yes, Leader, let me hear you.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Leader, I'm coming. Last year you were here and you were coaching. You were trying to guide. So that's the role of leaders, and you are all the same. Yes, Leader, I'm hearing you.
Mr. Speaker, the focus of the question, is efforts to assist a mining company or two mining companies to have access to a mine. And the minister has given an answer that those companies don't have right because that right
has been terminated.
Was terminated by the NPP government at the time when he was the leader of government business of the NPP as a government. Under his government, NPP brought a new company and gave the new company rights to that concession. Now, are you asking the minister to engage in an illegality by forcefully allowing a company that legally has no rights? So, Mr. Speaker, all these lines of questionings, I don't think they follow from the question. As to whether they approached the minister, they didn't approach the minister, and etc., whether they came to his office, they didn't come to his office, whether they went to the president, and etc. I think we should be clear. The minister has about 10 questions today. 10 questions. 15 questions, Mr. Speaker. So you should move away from that. Ask questions that flow from your original questions.
Leader, I appreciate where you are coming from. I know the leaders, majority, minority leaders, we have a way of handling you. But I think the questions is such that the minister is capable of answering them. I will yield it to him. So that's why I said if the minister is minded to respond. Other than that, we can still move on. So, Minister, the question he asked, are you prepared to respond to it? Yes.
Honourable Speaker, I think the rules of this House on questions are very clear. And the ministers come here prepared to deal with the question as has been asked.
Well.
I came prepared to answer a question on the legality and whether or not Future Global Resources and Blue Gold have legal access to a concession in Bogoso. And I came to say they don't. My good friend, the minority leader, wants me to come and talk about the state of the Bogoso mine. That's another matter altogether. Wonderful. I'll be happy to come and do it.
Wonderful. I mean, he knows it. So, Honorable Minority Leader, you may ask another question.
Honorable, respected colleague and minister, would you be able to make available this communication that, according to you, terminated the lease to Parliament?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Honourable Speaker, for the record, the rules are very clear. the technical advisor to the minister, the regulator, will normally advise the minister on the grounds for termination. The minister, based on those advice, will now write, also getting advice from the Attorney General, advise and direct the Minerals Commission to go ahead with the termination. I have gone through the records, and I can say that the former minister followed the spirit and letter of that law, got the technical advice and the reasons why there has to be termination. He also got the legal advice from the Attorney General. And based on that, those records are there. And the ministry will be happy to provide that. I thank you.
Well.
Mr. Speaker, you see, when you ask a question and the minister pushes you to act right, and he himself, the main answer he tries to trivialize, it becomes problematic. You have said on record that they have no such right because the contract, the lease agreement was terminated. It follows the logic, and that logic begs for an answer, evidence. All I'm asking you, can you make that available to Parliament for its records? Because you're on record. Can you make that termination letter available? You said maybe it's a public, make it and then commit to it.
Minister, I think you have to answer. Can we make the document, the termination document?
Honourable Speaker, the ministry will make available all records that can be made public to this House.
Very well.
Mr.
Minority
Speaker,
Leader, your last question.
Mr. Speaker, that is all for him.
That's all for him.
That is all for him. But,
Very
Mr. Speaker, I will beg of you, since he is in possession of this termination letter, normally the practice has always been that ministers will come accompanied with it because that is what he relies on. Because when the majority leader intervened, he said that, look, no such rights exist, which I agree, legally. So I am ready to go back and come back. Can he give a timeline? Is he able to bring it on Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday?
So let's give him time.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you need to direct.
Honourable Minister, can you help the House as to when you can give us a copy of the termination?
Honourable Speaker, today is Friday. I'm sure next week I'll be able to provide that.
Very well. So I take it like next week Friday we will have the report. Very well. Honourable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to Article 102 of the 1992 Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, I read Article 102. A quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all members of Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, I'm fortified by Order 64. And Order 64 of our standing order says that a quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, is 1/3. Mr. Speaker, I have taken count of us in the chamber, and we are 69. We are not up to 1/3, which is 91. And Mr. Speaker, so I invite you to respect the Constitution. I know you are a lawyer, and you respect the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and what has been stated, and not to for us to debate much about this issue and just adjourn the House, because we don't have 91 to continue or to.
Are you mindful of the fact that it's your own people who have questions to ask? No, I'm asking him. I'm not asking you. I'm asking my. Well, my Chief Whip, let me hear you. Yes, Chief Whip, let me hear you.
Mr. Speaker, I am scandalized by the present motion being moved by the First Deputy Minority Whip. Mr. Speaker, the minority are 23 members. Mr. Speaker, the majority side, as I stand on my feet, we are 72. 72. I did the counting. He came to engage me. Yes, because you ordered them to step out. Mr. Speaker, I did the counting. He just came to engage me. This is political mischief. It should not be encountered at all. We are 73. And you were 23. So, Mr. Speaker, the request, let me put it that way, the request by the First Minority Whip is totally out of place. He has no basis. He couldn't even tell how many on the majority side and how many on the minority side constitute the number. Mr. Speaker, we have the numbers to continue to do business, and we will have the numbers to take a decision when we get there. So, Mr. Speaker, already we have spent a lot of precious parliamentary time today. We cannot burn any more time without doing precious business. I pray that we proceed to continue to do business. In any case, Order 64 is very clear on this matter. Order 64 of our standing orders is very clear. And it is the order that provides the procedure of how this matter should be handled. So if the chair is minded to pay any attention to what he's saying, we are willing to deal with that matter under Order 64. Mr. Speaker, I urge you to ignore the request by the first minority chief whip so that we can make progress. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Chief, Honorable Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I have raised a constitutional matter. Mr. Speaker, I have raised a constitutional matter, and it does not lie on me or the majority chief whip to tell you the number in the chamber. It's a constitutional matter, Mr. Speaker, and in any case, we are not even 23. So, Mr. Speaker, the constitutional matter I have raised is in respect of Article 102. And, Mr. Speaker, I invite you to do the needful. The chief whip is not the one to provide you the number, neither am I the one to provide you the number. The point is that we are not up to 91 in this chamber.
Honorable member, the fact of the matter is that I have done the counting myself. The clerk, the head of the table, has also done the counting. At the moment, we are 97, and therefore, yes, from the clerk, we are 97, and therefore we can do business. So, Honorable members, let's move on. So let's turn to the normal question. Let's turn to the normal questions. Question 53. And the question stands in the name of Honorable Anthony Meyer, member for Dotobri. Yes, Honorable member, you may ask your question now.
I'm very grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources what the Ministry intends to do to ensure easier and cheaper registration of lands under the Lands Act 2020, Act 1036.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the high cost and delay in the registration of land can be attributed to the manual processes involved and the requirement to prepare a cadastral plan for each application. This calls for a survey of each and every application, which increases the cost of registration. To address this challenge, the Lands Commission, with the support of the Ministry, is in the process of implementing a land administration reform project which aims at production of digital maps across the country to digitalize the processes of the Commission and decentralization, among others. The Speaker, the Lands Commission on its own, using part of its IGF, has initiated some digital processes. But in order to extend the processes and service to all regions, there is a need to obtain funding from private sources, where the private sector will finance the activities while the Commission pays back over a period of time through its IGF. This project, when implemented, will go a long way to reduce the turnaround time for registration and also reduce the cost of registration. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry will soon present a paper for the Commission to be allowed to retain 100% of its internally generated fund instead of the current 33%, and to basically address this effort. This, among other measures, will go a long way to addressing the challenges that has been raised in the question. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mayor, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I have a follow-up question, supplementary. My supplementary is, you have indicated certain initiatives to be embarked on by the Ministry. 3 of them: production of digital maps across the country, digitalization of the processes of the Commission, as well as decentralization, among others. I would be grateful if you could inform this House if the Ministry has a roadmap and timelines for the 3 initiatives.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry is already implementing some of the plans and programs that have been outlined. Number 1, the Lands Commission has been directed and working with the district assemblies to make sure they have presence in every district in the country. And we are not going to wait for digitalization for that to start. We are going to start small and make sure that at least we have presence in each district to basically reduce the cost for people across remote areas who must travel to regional capitals to have access to land services. And that implementation should take place by the end of July this year. At least have 1 staff member in every district. We have also already engaged the Ministry of Finance with the Lands Commission and had a very fruitful engagement on the issue of retention. And the Ministry has been the Ministry of Finance has been very welcoming to our proposals. And so we are making progress in a lot of the areas that I've discussed. I thank you.
Yes, Tony.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now my final supplementary question for question number 53. Honorable Minister, has the ministry considered education / the creation of awareness in respect of what you have said? I'm raising this issue because almost everybody wants to acquire land or has acquired land in Ghana. When it comes to registration, we haven't done too well in respect of registration. There is a lot of ignorance when it comes to land matters, legal matters relating to land, and particularly registration of lands. Would you consider embarking on a massive education or creation of awareness to inform every Ghanaian about these initiatives?
Very well. Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Indeed, the Honourable Member is right. The New Land Act has new provisions that calls for a lot of education. The Lands Commission has begun some public engagement, but it has to be intensified. And I can assure the member that we will take your call for intensifying education among the populace, and we will do that. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Kabiru.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will want to find out from the Minister, following from the answer he gave in respect of the national land policy, and specifically on the digitization. I do recall that the previous government started the land digitization project under the Land Commission leading the process. I want to find out what is the state of that initiative as you met it, and how are you improving to ensure its completion? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. As you said, government is a continuous process. We've already reviewed some of the progress that has been made with the digitalization efforts, and the new Land Commission leadership is looking at where the effort was reached, and we are taking it from there. And we intend to intensify the digitalization effort. I thank you.
Yes, honorable members, we will turn to question 5-4. And the question stands in the name of the same person, Honorable Anthony Mie, member for Odotobri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the efforts the ministry is making to implement a new national policy since the old policy, which has been in effect since 1999, is outdated and does not address current needs.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The 1999 National Land Policy has guided the sector for 25 years. The 2022 National Land Conference called for a review of the National Land Policy to ensure that it is up to date with current developments and to address emerging issues since 1999, and to also ensure that it aligns with international instruments on land governance and land management. A committee has therefore been established to review the extent to which the National Land Policy of 1999 has been implemented, to help identify emerging issues that should be considered in a revised National Land Policy, and prepare a draft revised National Land Policy. Mr. Speaker, a roadmap has been developed to guide this process. The Ministry is working with GIZ and other stakeholders to support this effort. I thank you.
Yes. Honorable, any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, I'm very grateful. There will be none.
Very well. So we turn to question 97. Question 97. And the question stands in the name of Honorable Kofi Obriaboa, a member for Subing constituency.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the plans of the ministry to ensure that landowners who acquire state lands legitimately are protected.
Yes, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, may you put off your mic? Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has started inaugurating the Regional Lands Commission in all regions, after which the National Lands Commission, which is the main decision-making body, will be inaugurated. Mr. Speaker, the Commission will be expected to review all land allocations and leases and make appropriate recommendations to the Ministry for implementation. I can assure the Honourable Member that landowners who have acquired land legitimately and meet the value of money threshold will be protected. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kofi Aboa, do you have any supplementary question?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Come again?
That will be all.
That will be okay. Very well. So you will take your next substantive question, which is question 98.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources when the ban placed on the Lands Commission in respect of sales, lease and processing of transactions involving state and public lands will be lifted.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The Ministry has begun a program to sanitize the processes of sales, lease, and the processing of state and public lands. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry, working with the Ministry of Works and Housing under a Cabinet directive, has constituted a 5-member committee to review all state and public land transactions. When the committee completes its work, appropriate recommendation will be made to Cabinet for direction. I thank you.
Very well. Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister tell the House the timelines assigned to the committee to finish their job?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The committee is expected to finish their work by the mid of next month, July, and we hope to be able to present our report by the end of that month. I thank you.
Very well.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That will be all.
That's wonderful. Honourable members, let's turn to question 113. 113. And the question stands in the name of Honourable Richmond Edem Kofi Putosu, member for Ho Central. Honourable Member, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the plans of the ministry to reclaim devastated lands which were caused by illegal mining.
Very well. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Through effective collaboration with the Military High Command, the Forestry Commission secured the services of the military for patrolling of these hotspots areas in the Nkawie Forest District to confront the illegal mining activities in the area. 4 joint military Forest Commission operations have been undertaken between February and May 2025, which has resulted in the confiscation of 35 excavators, 1 bulldozer, and 1 pickup vehicle. So, Speaker, 8 suspects have also been arrested, 3 in Gemera, 5 in Offin Shelter Bells Reserve, and are currently standing trial at the Circuit Court, Kwadaso, for offenses relating to illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, plans are underway to secure the service of the military personnel to be stationed at the various hotspots, forest districts to provide backup support, as I indicated in my earlier response. I thank.
Yes. Honourable Member for Ho Central, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm done.
You are done. Very well. Let's turn to question 123. 123. And the question is owned by Honorable Robert Wisdom Kujo, member for Pristia Univari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have the authority of the MP to ask the question for him.
Honorable Member, the application granted. You can go on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to account for the total cost of operations of the Interministerial Committee set up in 2017 by the previous administration to fight against illegal mining, the total assets seized, and their current status. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has no records on the total cost of the operations of the Interministerial Committee set up in 2017. I'm therefore unable to provide the accurate response to this question posed by the Honorable Member of Pristia Hune Valley, as the Interministerial Committee set up in 2017 under the previous administration was under the then Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. I thank you.
Yes. Honorable Member, do you have the authority to ask supplementary question?
I don't have currently, but let me thank the Minister for a prompt and quick answer. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well, thank you very much. We will now take the last question. Question 111. Oh, you don't have it? No, Minister, don't you have it? You have it? Very well. Question 111, and it stands in the name of a member for Achoma Impunia, Honorable Seth Osei Akut.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I come under Order 883 of our standing orders, and with your leave.
Yes, your application is granted, so go ahead and yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. He wants to ask the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the efforts being made to stop illegal mining of 3 forest reserves. 1, Jamira Forest Reserve around Adobera. 2, Offend Shelter Belt in Napankro. And the third one, Asenyo Reserve around Tahoma. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Through effective collaboration with the Military High Command, the Forestry Commission secured the services of the military for patrolling these hotspots that has been described by the Honorable Member. 4 joint forestry military operations have been undertaken, which has resulted in the confiscation of 35 excavators, 1 bulldozer, and 1 pickup vehicle. The Speaker, 8 suspects has been arrested in the Gemina and 5 in the Offin Shelter Belt Forest Reserve and are currently standing trial at the Circuit Court in Kwadaso for offenses relating to illegal mining. The Speaker, plans are underway to secure the services of the military personnel to be stationed permanently, working with the Forestry Commission to avert future occurrences like this in this forest reserve. I thank you.
Yes, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No supplementary question, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we bring question time to a close. And on behalf of the House, let me thank the Minister responsible for Lands and Natural Resources for attending upon the House to answer questions from his own colleagues. Honorable Member, we are grateful and you are hereby discharged. Yes, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, this is a Friday. I think we can take an adjournment.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion able moved by the majority leader.
Because he knows he doesn't have to.
Because,
Don't look at you. Mr. Speaker, the avant-garde, say what you want to say. The avant-garde of government business is whipping his members. His members are not up to. He is struggling. He knows he doesn't have the numbers to take a decision. So he's eating a humble pie and he's reported to his majority leader. So the majority leader is asking for adjournment. Mr. Speaker, if they don't have their numbers and they are asking for adjournment, we will yield to it. We will yield. Mr. Speaker, anything the majority leader would want to say after I have spoken, don't take him serious. He can say anything. I won't mind him.
The motion has not been moved. No, he hasn't moved. Leader, did you move the motion? Leader, move the motion.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Okay. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker. What he doesn't know, that is that you have become a very experienced speaker. Very experienced because I actually did not move. Mr. Speaker, I actually did not move. And you were clear. You observed that I didn't move. I said, we may take an adjournment. I said, we may take an adjournment. Mr. Speaker, I said, we may take an adjournment. And the reason is simple. He is the ranking member on the appointments committee. Mr. Speaker, he and his chairman are supposed to present us the report of their committee. Mr. Speaker, they haven't completed the report of their committee. If the report is not ready, we cannot take the report. The report is not ready. The report is not ready. The report is not ready.
So
if the report is not ready,
what about the laying?
The subsidiary legislation. Well, Mr. Speaker, you have the final decision. I think we can take the lane of the reports in the addendum. I only suggested that we may take an agenda. But if, in your wisdom, we should just take the reports, we can take the reports.
No, we are just laying. No, this is not it's not appointment committee report.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have any copy of any addendum here. And Mr. Speaker, when a motion is being moved and seconded, you need to take a decision on that. Mr. Speaker, what you are doing is alien to our rules. Mr. Speaker, what you are doing is alien to our rules. Mr. Speaker, what you are doing is alien to our rules. That the majority leader said we may take an adjournment, it has been seconded, nothing, then you put it aside, then you are doing something else. I don't know where from these rules.
Mr. Speaker, as you rightly pointed out, a motion has not been moved for adjournment. So there's no motion to be seconded. And you have drawn attention to the existence of an addendum. So even though the Appointments Committee's report is not ready, Mr. Speaker, we can conduct a search on that table. We can conduct a search. I said we can conduct a search. He just took his copy away. He just took his copy away.
The insufficiency of copies is a basis of a report. It's order paper.
Leader.
Subsidiary legislation is here.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's on the screen. It's on the screen. Your individual monitors, it is there. It is there. Just check. Just lay in 2 reports.
They chair that committee.
Yes. Hey, Muchen, here. So, Mr. Speaker, I think there's consensus. Let's the chairman. Subsidiary legislation. The chairman is not there. Mr. Speaker,
let's take that adjournment.
In the absence of the chairman and the ranking, let's go ahead and take the
move the motion for adjournment. Move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House adjourns until Tuesday at 2 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, having realized he has no numbers, I second the motion.
Honourable members, the motion for adjournment has been moved and it has been seconded. The question is, as many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. All those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. This House is accordingly adjourned to Tuesday. When are we coming? Is it on 12 or 2? 2 o'clock. Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In other words, 14 hours Greenwich Mean Time. The House stands adjourned.